Welcome to In the Queue with Mike Schiano, where we delve into the intersections of technology, finance, the evolving job market, business, consumerism, and of course, artificial intelligence is one of our key focus. We've got our new book out. AI is coming for your job. What you can do to survive and thrive, available where you get your favorite books, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's in ebook and paperback, so thank you so much for grabbing a copy of that. And this is Mike Schiano, your humble host. Today we're spotlighting a significant development out of Texas that's making waves in the realm of artificial intelligence and consumer rights. So bringing consumers and AI together, Texas is joining a small group of states, a growing number of states, I should say. And I would also add this, I'm a little bit surprised here in the queue that Texas, generally resistant to regulation, especially consumer protection regulation, but in this case, the state has taken a step to protect consumers. So we want to talk about it because this will become more and more prevalent. I want to know what you think in the queue with Mike Schiano. So last month, the Texas governor signed into law House Bill 149, officially known as the Texas Responsible Artificial Intelligence Governance Act, or TRAIGA. This is landmark legislation positioning Texas at the forefront of AI regulation in the United States. It's hard to imagine ever putting the words Texas forefront of regulation of any type, but here they are taking a leading stance when it comes to artificial intelligence that's growing so fast, as we've talked about on this show, written about in AI is Coming for Your Job, and in several articles and interviews. So this new law in Texas sets forth comprehensive guidelines to ensure that AI technologies are developed and deployed responsibly. Here are some of the key provisions. Prohibition of harmful AI practices. Well, what does that mean? They're going to shut down everything? Because just about everything in AI, depending on where you sit in the equation, can be harmful. The law bans AI systems that intentionally discriminate, promote self-harm, or encourage criminal behavior. Interesting. Well, that's pretty straightforward, though, right? We would kind of expect that, but you've got to spell it out. Most people think this just kind of comes, we developed AI and that's going to come with automatic provisions to avoid discrimination, avoid promoting self-harm and encouraging criminal behavior, as we've seen with other social media platforms. Those things generally get a boost from technology and spread like wildfire. So Texas has addressed that. Texas also put restrictions on government use. Government entities are barred from using AI to assign social scores based on personal characteristics or behaviors. In addition, deploying AI for biometric identification without individual consent is prohibited. Very interesting. So deploying AI for biometric identification, which is going on as we speak in locations you don't even know about, apparently it's not going to be happening in Texas. Now, this is going to be a tough one to nail down because the feds love using AI for biometric identification. If you go to the airport, AI is being used to identify you. Many major cities across the country are using AI and biometric identification for a wide range of uses, most simple of which is simple surveillance of streets and corners. You've seen TV where they talk about CCTV. You throw AI on video and then run that against any database, and you've got, a simplistic version of biometric identification. So restrictions on the use of that in Texas, and protection of constitutional rights. What? AI systems designed solely to infringe upon constitutional rights or unlawfully discriminate against protected classes are expressly forbidden in Texas. Are we talking about the state of Texas as we know it today? Wow. So big steps forward there. And it is a forward step for the state of Texas and for the country, and for that matter, perhaps the world. Every city, every state, every government, local, national, federal, international, are having to deal with artificial intelligence. The onslaught is really unhandleable. Is that a word? I hope so. It is virtually impossible. It's coming at us so fast, and social media is just exploding it. But it's here. And as we wrote in AI is coming for your job, it's at your job. It's already there, my friends. It is everywhere. And it's growing quickly in the bigs. There's so many headlines on AI, it's tough for us to keep up with it, and that's what we do all day. This is In the Queue, your host, Mike Schiano. The intersection of technology, finance, the evolving job market, and you. Brought to you by freebirthday.com. If it's your birthday, visit freebirthday.com and learn about all the freebies you can get on your birthday. Well, let's talk more about this Texas law, TRAIGA, which you've got to kind of understand this is big news. It may seem yawny. Oh, well, another law by a state, right? But understanding the importance of fostering innovation and balancing that with protections for consumers, for business people, for everyone who will be impacted, and no one won't be impacted, right? Everyone is going to be impacted by AI. They're adding, part of this bill introduces a regulatory sandbox program. The initiative allows companies to test new AI systems without immediate regulatory repercussions, provided they obtain approval from the Texas Department of Information Resources and other agencies. Very interesting. So they've got a little sandbox to play around with to see if their new innovations will impact negatively anyone outlined in the law. And to oversee these efforts, this law is establishing the Texas Artificial Intelligence Council. So their job will be to monitor compliance and support the responsible advancement of AI technologies within the state. Very important who will be on that council, right? So we've got to be careful about who we appoint to these councils, and they've got to be people who understand AI, the impact of technology, and then the other side of the coin, how it can benefit, how it can hurt. Man, it's a wide-ranging job. I'd love to be on that council. Enforcement of TRAIGA is falling under the exclusive authority of the Texas Attorney General. Violations can result in civil penalties up to $100,000 per incident. Notably, the law specifies that enforcement actions cannot be taken against AI systems that have not been deployed. So you can't accuse an AI system of breaking the law if it's not out there yet. For federally insured financial institutions, compliance with existing federal and state banking laws is going to be deemed sufficient under this new TRAIGA law. And they'll continue, of course, to work on areas of banking that might cross the line. You know, this is a real concern that AI can be used to model out certain discriminatory rules and guidelines when they make decisions such as mortgage loan approvals. So banking has always been under the microscope when it comes to technology that can identify certain groups of people based on things outside of their finances and credit scores. TRAIGA's enactment is said to mark a significant step in balancing the rapid advancement of AI technologies with the imperative to protect individual rights and societal values. As AI continues to permeate various sectors, finance, healthcare, other states have already gotten the ball rolling on this. Some will look to Texas as a model, but there are several states who've taken meaningful steps similar to Texas to protect consumers from these AI-related risks. They focus on algorithmic discrimination, transparency, risk assessments, and enforcement. Some of the states like Colorado, enacted back in May of 2024, really viewed as the most comprehensive state law to date, regulates high-risk AI systems, and it requires developers and deployers to use reasonable care to avoid algorithmic discrimination, particularly in consequential decisions related to education, employment, finance, healthcare, housing, insurance, and legal services. So, what is not included? Everything that affects us when we apply for things, when we try to get healthcare. Can you imagine AI can go through every database and figure out your medical background in nanoseconds and make decisions on insurance, make decisions on the costs you pay to insure yourself for health care and auto insurance? The world is wide open with AI. And these developers and deployers of AI right now are so excited, I can tell you, after talking to hundreds of them, they are so excited about the prospects that they're not, my sense is they're not going to slow down. Someone is going to have to slow them down. I mean, it's like the internet. They're going to run, even to this day, the biggest of the internet and social media companies are running afoul of laws around the world. So they're going to push, and many of them are not reining in hate speech and horrible pornography and you name it, it's out there. And children aren't supposed to see this stuff, but if you've been on Instagram lately, you know that children can access just about, or TikTok, or all of it. You can see it all out there. Very, very little in the way of guardrails, even after all the horror stories and all of the folks who've come forward with stories and lawsuits, and the technology exists, but money is a huge driver. Colorado has a law out there. The law empowers the Attorney General to enforce their penalties. In California, they have consumer privacy laws with AI provisions. The state's consumer privacy law grants residents the right to opt out of AI-driven profiling that impacts employment, insurance, health, or other outcomes. So you can opt out, and you know how that is when you try to opt out of things. I hope that is buttoned up in California, because it's usually really hard to you opt out of one thing and then you get something else. Also, they have the AI Transparency Act out in California that will come into effect in January of 2026. Now, that law requires providers of widely used AI systems to disclose automatically generated content with significant penalties for non-compliance. The state also prohibits using bots to incentivize sales without disclosure. Really interesting. I mean, that's a step forward. I mean, they're really thinking through this stuff and looking ahead, and that'll come into effect in California in January. Out in Utah, they have the Utah Artificial Intelligence Policy Act mandating consumer disclosure for AI use cases such as chatbots, impacting consumers' awareness and protection when interacting with AI systems. So you're going to have to get some alerts, kind of like with the notices that you get now that you're on a website that's using cookies and you have to approve it. A lot of this stuff's going to be hidden, and you'll see a quick notice that they're using AI. And when you sign up for apps and when you sign up for software downloads, there's usually a long list of policies and procedures that you just, check the box and generally don't read. So they'll have to bury information about them using AI in their applications to track your every move, and AI can sure do a great job at that. New Jersey also has laws on the books. Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Mexico, Vermont, Virginia, Georgia, Hawaii all have introduced, and in some cases, advanced legislation requiring risk management, impact assessments, and prohibiting certain forms of algorithmic discrimination. You see, the focus is on discrimination. We've got a long list, and we'll post this up at our website so you can check out, and we'll put the links there to these different laws if you're interested. This is In the Queue. Mike Schiano, your host, and we're talking about the latest AI-driven legislation by the state of Texas, usually very risk-averse when it comes to setting up any kind of consumer protection in a state. Texas would be probably last on my list of states, maybe Florida, also at the bottom of protecting consumers. But in this case, they have passed a law to, in some ways, help consumers, mainly, and others in their state. So hats off to Texas and the other states. Hey, we appreciate you spending some of your valuable time within the queue. This is Mike Schiano. Today's episode was brought to you in part by freebirthday.com. If it's your birthday, everything should be free. Check out the website and sign up for free to get free gifts on your birthday. We will talk to you again soon on the next edition of In the Queue with Mike Schiano. In the meantime, visit us on the socials at the website spscontact.com. You'll find us also Linktree, Mike Schiano, Schiano. Visit us there. All our contact information is available for you, and we'd love to hear from you, your feedback. And if you have the opportunity, check out our new book, AI is Coming for Your Job, What You Can Do to Survive and Thrive. Find out if your job is at risk and what you can do about it. AI really isn't coming for your job. It's already here, friends. As you've heard me say for months and months, Goldman Sachs estimates that nearly 300 million jobs will be lost to AI in the coming years by 2030. From bookkeeping to customer service, manufacturing to marketing, no industry is untouched, and AI is Coming for Your Job is your survival guide. We will help you learn which industries are being hit first, discover the warning signs your job may be next, find out how to upskill with tools that employers want, and turn AI from a threat into your opportunity. AI is Coming for Your Job is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and where you get your favorite books. Hopefully it'll be in your local library soon, too. We're working on it. And again, I appreciate your support. Thanks for listening to In the Queue. This is Mike Schiano. Until next time.